As the number of fatal truck crashes on Texas roads increase, a KXAN investigation found a 3-year-old law is making it tougher to sue the trucking companies responsible. On this episode of Inside the Investigations, Investigator Matt Grant reports industry groups want to go even further next year to prevent what they're calling frivolous lawsuits against every type of business.
Hello everyone, welcome back to KXAN Live. I'm Esmeralda Zamora and we have our Inside the Investigation segment with our KXAN reporter Kaylee Wiley, and we also have another special guest, right?
Yes, we've got Investigator Matt Grant here with us. And Matt, we're going to jump right in. For months, you've been looking into truck crashes that killed Texas drivers, and specifically you've been looking into what happened after the crash. Tell us about what you found.
Yeah, Kelly, yes, thank you so much for having me. So fatal truck accidents are happening more often in Texas than any other state in the country. And when someone is hurt or killed, they or their families can sue the drivers and those companies for things like lost wages, medical bills, and pain and suffering. The latter, in legal parlays, they call it non-economic damages. And industry groups want to make it harder to sue these kind of companies for non-economic damages, but not just in trucking cases. Next legislative session, they want to expand it for all sorts of industries as well.
So they want to expand it. What exactly do they want to expand it to include?
Well, the coalition is pushing for wider lawsuit reform. It says it wants to stop what it calls frivolous lawsuits and, quote, large nuclear verdicts. Under that 2021 law, a civil lawsuit involving any commercial vehicle is essentially split up into two parts. So a jury must first find that the driver is at fault, and then and only then can a jury consider if the company carries any blame, and if so, how much. They want broad lawsuit reform next year to apply to other industries now. So they want to regulate what evidence can be heard and when, and they're looking into pain and suffering caps. Texas already has one for medical malpractice cases capped at $250,000.
Okay, so that can have a really big impact on families. Talk to us about, you've already kind of talked about the business side of this, but talk to us about the other side, the impact it has on them.
Yeah, so attorneys and victims have a different point of view. They say that this law is making it harder to sue and to get justice. Earlier this year, you'll recall a school bus carrying pre-K kids was hit by a concrete truck, and the driver admitted to using marijuana and cocaine beforehand. That crash killed a child and an adult. It injured dozens of people. And an attorney I spoke with who's representing a teacher hurt that day says that law acts as, quote, a muzzle preventing a jury from hearing that the driver was prohibited from operating a commercial vehicle at the time unless that trial goes into a second phase. So again, it just makes it longer, and advocates say makes it harder to pursue justice.
Matt, you do have another report coming up tonight. Tell us what viewers will hear in that story.
Yeah, let's show you some video so you can see what we're talking about. So right now, what you're looking at, that's a rear guard. That's required on the back of trucks, but safety advocates are trying to get this. It's called the side underride guard. We spoke with a widower. His wife and teenage daughter were killed a couple of years ago when their vehicle went underneath a truck. Safety advocates say that underride guard can save as many as 200 lives a year if they were required on the side of trucks like they are on the backs. Federal transportation officials are now considering this, but this is a fight that's been going on for years. Industry groups have opposed this. They call it costly and an unfunded mandate. So we'll explore all of that coming up tonight.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Matt. Thanks for sharing this story. We're anticipating that story coming out later tonight on our newscast. If anyone is wondering more about this story, he has prepared an article on our website, KXAN.com, with all the information on there, photos of the victims, and all the details. So if you would like to read up on that, please visit our website, KXAN.com. Thank you both for joining us. This is all we have for Inside the Investigation, and we'll see you back here next week.